Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Trust you had an amazing night rest. Happy weekend. Yeah, thank God it's Friday. Yeah. So please, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click on the subscription button to as to get notified whenever we live. And also, if you have any comments, the link has been posted, so you can join us via the link to air your view. Without further ado, let's dive into the newspaper review of today. Okay, starting with the Nation newspaper, it says the major headline says states FCT own federal government 1.72 trillion naira budget support cash, and sub nations to pay back 49 billion naira each, and then program terminated. Then appeal court vowed tribunal verdict sacking Sule, and PDP governors confidence Lawa Mufwang will get justice, and that's on page 28. And then we have last man GM Oriagba removed and shake up, and that's on page 28. And NPA Nimasa NIWA signed performance bond with minister, and you can read that up on page 7. And then we have Tinubu to decide on Minister Langlong's Senate seats, and ex-governor picks certificate of return. Then AFDB's $1 billion boost to creative to create about 500,000 jobs in agri sector, and special processing zones for 7 states, FCT, and that's coming from Bolaji Ogudele. Uh, then let's see that updates on the. Okay, it says AFDB's $1 billion boost to create 500,000 jobs in agri sector. It says Hope brightened yesterday for the special agro intro in industrial processing zones being planned, that the fund for the implementations of the ambitions projects have risen to $1.52 billion, and following a pledge by the international donor partners to boost the SAPZ with $1 billion. And it says that the donor funds are being provided by the African Development Bank, which is the AFDB, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, which is the IFAD, and the Islamic Development Bank, which is the IDB, and state governments and private investors. And it says that the Agriculture and Food Security Minister Abubakar Kari Yari dropped the ins after the 137th section of the National Economic Council, the NEC, and chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima. And that the minister said the program, which will be spread through the 36 states of the federation, will create 17.5 million jobs and provide support to 100,000 farmers. Compared to the $1 billion pledge, the federal government had earmarked about $530 million, and for the first phase of the SAPZ in Kanu, Kaduna, Kwara, Ogun, Oyo, Imo, and Cross River, and the FCT, which is the Federal Capital Territory. And also says that the plan is to establish cluster of agricultural production and significantly reduce post-harvest losses. And 26 states have expressed interest to participate in the phase 2 of the program. And when government plans to deploy the $1 billion being rallied from other donors by the AFDP. B said the states are to begin documentations for the second phase early next year. And it was learned that the agreement for the funding was reached in October when Chetima attended the Norman Bola International Dialogue World Food Prize 2023 in Demont and Lower United States, that's US. And he said that the vice president who attended the World Food Prize in Des Moines and Lower met with the president of the AFDB, Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, who has already pledged $1 billion to the second phase. And the seven states are Kanu, Kaduna, Kwara, Ogun, Oyo, Imo, and Cross River. And like I said, with the FCT being the eighth partner in this program, and he said the quick wins here are that even the stage of construction, you will have the opportunity for over 300 jobs, and at the end of the construction, opportunities will be for almost 500,000 jobs on each zone. That is for each state, and then also support about 100,000 farmers. And also, according to him, he said it's the SAPZ as a cross-cutting initiative, and it's a platform to attract private sector investments and add value of Nigeria agro processing and unlock opportunities for improved food security and job creation. And he also said that which commenced in 2022, and said the active participation of seven states and the FCT, even as the zones will not only serve as production sites but also hubs for aggregation and processing of agricultural produce. And for instance, they say that Kanu has killed to do a lot of tomatoes in this zone, and that we all know that tomato loses run to almost about 50 to 60%, and it is unacceptable in today's agricultural sector. And the minister pointed out that the and also listed that Abia, Adamawa, and Yobe as the only states yet to express interest. So he said the NEC acknowledged the leading role of Ogun in the development of the special zones, noting that a commitment was recently secured from the Gateway states to sign subsidiary loan agreement, and that's the SLA. And the NEC also approved the recommendations of the Presidential Committee on Flood Mitigation, Adaptation, and preparedness and response, including annual budgetary provision for the three tiers of government. So that's the update on that. And then on the appeal court vaults tribunal verdict sacking Sule Afenko Osu yeah. And it says that the fury of governorship election judgment by the Court of Appeal continued yesterday in Abuja. The court reversed the decision of Nasarawa State governorship election petition tribunal sacking Governor Abdullahi Sule of the All Progressive Congress (APC). And also yesterday, the appellant courts affirmed the election of the Gombe State Governor Inuwa Yahaya and his Cross River counterpart Basi Otsu. And says that the Court of Appeal will deliver judgments on the Kaduna and Ogun governorship pool. And also in the Sule verdict, it says a three-member panel held that the tribunal was wrong to have refused to determine the legal issues identified in the objection by the APC and Sule, and both challenged the tribunal's jurisdiction to air the petition by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, David Obugadu. And it says the appeal court held that the petitioners failed to prove their allegations over voting and non-compliance with the Electoral Act. Mr. Obana Iro Police, Mr. Emeka, good morning. He said, Emeka says, so there is this kind of money in Nigeria and people are dying of hunger, is even in dollars. not naira. Why they are paying if converted 25 to $35 salaries there is God. Oh. It is where Jude Nwabuze. Lord Larry, good morning to you, sir. Right, so let's continue. Let's see what we have on the Independent newspaper. It says it said despite more aircraft, airlines over 200 pilot engineers remain unemployed. And Akpakpa Abure fractions of Labour Party clash in court over Imo Guba candidate. And federal government to create 17.5 million jobs with $1.5 billion injection into August and establish agric production clusters and reduce post-harvest losses. Offer support to 100,000 farmers nationwide boost food security. And the World Health Organization, Nigerian governors to sign Earth Compact Agreement. And Tinubu assets to Defense Industries Corporation Bill, and that's on page 29. You can see the photo there. Then PDP governors ask federal government to prioritize new revenue allocation formula. And optimistic Supreme Court will upturn Apex Court decision on Zamfara Plateau. Then Zenith Tech fell 3.0 ends in fanfare as finalists get cash prizes, and that's on page 29. And from Nasarawa Guba, it said appeal court dismisses tribunal judgment and upholds Governor Sule's election. And Senate laments absence of correct population data to plan Nigeria. Then still on page 6, we have ICPC warns sexual harassment attracts 7 years imprisonment. So any reports they get on that sexual harassment, the person will be imprisoned for 7 years, and that's the court verdict. So on the Blueprint newspaper, we have here, it says amid web support, NNPCL targets 2 trillion naira profits in 2022 fiscal year, and millions of naira won as Zenith Bank tech fell ends. And troops neutralized 99 terrorists, arrested 198 in 1 week. That's coming from the DHQ. And Malagi has shown capacity to deliver in information ministry. This is coming from Alake, and that's on page 5. And in Nasarawa, we have Sule wins appeal, joins Otsu, Mbab, Ali, and Sawolu for Supreme Court battle. And jubilant supporters hail victory in governor's tax APC members on sincerity. And the battle continues, says Nasarawa, Cross River, PDP, and that's on page 6. POS operators cries out over naira scarcity, threatening higher charges. Of course, not just a threat, it's ongoing already, because they can't get money from the bank. So now they've gone back to that states where they will have to get money, buy money, and then sell. Yeah, so they buy and sell cash. And that's the state we are now. UBA easy competition, 15-year-old Adeze cuts home 5 million naira. And from Edo, lawyer fined 100,000 naira for smuggling defense statement into court file. And that's on page 9. Then Senate seeks Nigerians inclusion in $147 billion global bitumen market, and Ondo with $42 billion worth deposits highest in Africa. And that's on page 6. All right, so on the Daily Sun newspaper, we have here, it says the Mwada Igbo asks Tinubu to free Kanu, and says Nigeria has seen Nigerians have seen, and that's on page 26, 28. Nigerians have seen enough blood destruction. In aftermath of CDS allegation, federal government orders prison warders probe over Boko Haram inmates and promises new welfare package for paramilitary. And troops kills 90 terrorists and arrest 198 others in 1 week. And that's on page 8. So deactivates 50 illegal oil refinery sites and nabbed 51 suspects. And then suspension of Nigerian by FATF sends wrong signals to investors. This coming from CISLAC, and that's on 26. Imo Guba, Labour Party storms INEC headquarters, demands CTC of results. And appeal court reverses sack of Nasarawa governor, affirms Yahaya's victory in Gombe. And Rivers Assembly, it says court threatens contempt order against Amaile Mahol. And that's on page 5. And then federal government to channel $1.5 billion donor funds into 36 SAPZs and target 17.5 million jobs and 100,000 farmers who governor to sign Earth Compact Agreement. That's WHO governors to sign Earth Compact Agreement. And 4 years education roadmap underway, says minister, and that's on page 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper. So let's see that update on the Ohanaeze. It says release Nnamdi Kanu as Christmas gift to Southeast. This is coming from Ohanaeze to Tinubu. So it said the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization on Thursday informed President Bola Tinubu that releasing Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IBOP, would be the best Christmas gift to the people of the Southeast. The body made the call against the backdrop of the comments by the Chief of Defense Staff and Christopher Musa that self-acclaimed Biafra agitator Samuel Ekpa was sabotaging the effort of security operatives in the southeast. However, Ohanaeze said an act of clemency extended towards Kanu would not only make Musa's work easy, but also render Ekpa inconsequential and irrelevant. And he said that the Apex Igbo Cultural Organization said Kanu's release would bring an end to the artificial security challenges created in the Southeast by criminals using his name as an excuse. In a statement, he signed factional Secretary General of Ohanaeze. Ebubedike, good morning to you. You're welcome. And the Apex Courts, the Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization said Kanu's release would bring an end to the artificial security challenges created in the Southeast by criminals using his name as an excuse. And in his statement, he signed factional Secretary General of Ohanaeze, Okechukwu Isi Guzoro, lamented that killer herders and criminals have exploited the Biafra agitation to terrorize the Southeast. The statement reads, Ohanaeze Ndibo urges President Tinubu as a respected political father of the nation to consider the plight and predicament of the Southeasterners and release Nnamdi Kanu in time for them to enjoy their Christmas and New Year festivals in a serene environment and peaceful atmosphere. It says if peace is restored in the Southeast through the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the service of the Chief of Defense Staff and security shifts to maintain peace will no longer be necessary in the region. It is Heartening to note that the people of the southeast have suffered unjustly at the hands of Fulani herdsmen and criminals who have exploited the Biafra struggle to terrorize the region. And Ohanaeze Ndibo is shocked that the chief of defense staff and security chiefs have not investigated or spoken out about the discovering of over 70 persons brutally murdered by herdsmen operating from the Lokpatan cattle market in Leru, Umuneoshi, Abia State. And the source of insecurity challenges in the southeast are primarily the activities of Fulani herdsmen and criminals who use the name of the Biafra agitation as a cover. Says the activities of the Fulani herdsmen and criminals uses the name of Biafra agitation as cover to commit their evil plans, to carry out their evil plans. And he also said that the southeast region that the southeast region has lost over 42 trillion naira since the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu and the criminal invasions of Fulani herdsmen during the Buhari administration. Ohanaeze Ndibo calls on Tinubu to address the shortcoming of the past administration that have led to the current insecurity challenges in the southeast. They said again that this is a quote, said the release of Nnamdi Kanu will not only bring solace to the people but also restore confidence in the leadership commitment to the welfare and security of the Igbo people. So that is that on the release of Nnamdi Kanu, with the Ohanaeze's discussion towards the release of Nnamdi Kanu with the president. So Ohanaeze said releasing Nnamdi Kanu will be a special gift to Biafrans. Christmas gift for that matter. All right, so the state FCT owed federal government 1.72 trillion naira and budget support cash, and says state and federal capital territory own the federal government's 1.7 million naira as outstanding liabilities on budget support facilities. This was made known yesterday by the Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy by Mr. Olawale Edu during the National Economic Council. A meeting at Presidential Villa Abuja. It says the meeting was chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima and attended by governors and other sanctuary members. And Enugu State Deputy Governor Ifeanyi Osai, who spoke to reporters on the issue after the meeting, said Edu reported that states owe 49 billion each. The federal government has since July discontinued the budget support loans program, and it was discontinued partly because of the surge in revenue occurring into the federation account following the removal of petrol subsidy. Edu said that the average inflow into the federation account is around 1 trillion naira monthly, and another reason for discontinuance of the BSF is the substantial outstanding liabilities accumulated by the states under the program. And then we have the current economic realities, and the need to ensure fiscal prudence is another reason. And the federal government opted to allocate a portion of funds from the federation account to settle the outstanding liabilities and thereby bringing closure to the program. And the arrangement is expected to have a significant impact on the financial operations of state governments, as they will no longer have access to the additional funding provided through the budget support loans. And also, it says that they believe that the discontinuation of the program became necessary to address the issue of outstanding liabilities and promote sustainable fiscal management practices among the state governments. And it said that the government has also emphasized its commitment to providing support to state government through alternative means, such as technical assistance and capacity building programs. And he also said that these initiatives aim to enhance the financial management capacities of state governments and enable them to effectively utilize their resources for development purpose. And also, the discontinuation of the budget support loan program marks a turning point in Nigeria fiscal policy. And that's all you have to say. All right, so please don't forget to click the subscription button if you're new to this channel and turn on the notification bell so as to get notified whenever we're live. And you can join us via the link in the comment section to air your view. All right, let's see what this day have for us. It's the third edition of Zenith Tech Fair ends with Akatin winners receiving significant cash reward, and the federal government reduces $750 million World Bank assisted Sabah program for states, and that's on page 6. And Shetima to governors at NEC says we must develop our agri sector for self-sufficiency. And NEC to channel $1.5 billion donor funds into 36 SAPZs and target 17.5 million jobs, 100,000 farmers nationwide. And then on the major headline, it says Olanipekun, a Apex court can't correct cleric errors in Kanu Guba judgments. It says tension at NNPP, APC hold rally tomorrow, and court reverses Nasarawa governors sack. And let's see what we have on this Guardian newspaper. Says that the it says the high OPEX ash environment of industrial revival jobs. And then we have the exchange rate at 1,000, I mean 1,165 per a dollar. And then we have the interest rates at 18.75%. And it says between 2015 and 2023, the manufacturing sector lost over 200 players factory output continues to decline, and that's in volume and in value. And Nigeria ranks 144 out of 163 in safest country ranking for 2023. And military deactivates 50 illegal oil refining sites and arrests about 51 suspects. And Jega Basshare orders reflect on INEC 2023 elections amid fresh appeals court verdicts. And the Israel-Hamas war says death toll of Palestinians 14,200, says the ambassador, and that's on page 3. And Reps panel probes 62 billion naira HIV AIDS intervention funds. And also it says Nigerian loses $10 billion yearly to imported weathers. Minister laments, and that's on page 3. Okay, the Nigeria Tribune newspaper says the Lagos imports 15 petroleum. That's on page 26. It says the imports 15 petroleums tankers for parking on port access road. And then Kogi freezes state local government accounts. That's on page 27. Then the appeal courts reverses tribunal judgment sacking Governor Sule and upholds Unuwa's re-election And then the states says the state FCT own federal government's 1.7 trillion naira in budget support facility, and that's on page 2. And then next, we just setting up national flood management council. And then it says Labour Party factions clash in court over suit against Imo governorship candidates, and that's on page 28. And on tourism, federal government orders probe of misconduct by correctional officers, and that's on page 22. Then we have escalating cost of medications, the worrisome risky situation in Nigeria, that's on page 19. And then panic over recovering of 88.6 billion naira debt as controversy rages over discourse operating license expiring dates. And the appeal court judgment, PDP governor backs judiciary, believes party will get justice at Supreme Court, and that's on page 2 of the Nigeria Tribune newspaper. All right, so with this, we've come to the end of the newspaper. We we've seen that different budgets, and the Ohanaeze pleading Mr. Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu as a Christmas gift so to the Biafran people, so as to stop the chaos that is ongoing. That the detention of Nnamdi Kanu is causing a lot of calamities, a lot of chaos, and the Fulani herdsmen are taking they are using the medium to the privilege to do what they want to do, to carry out the evil plans. And that's all Ohanaeze said. That's what Tinubu should do, is to release Nnamdi Kanu. All right, Emmanuel Amile. All right, thank you for staying tuned. Ebubedike, thank you for staying tuned, Mr. Wapalis. Obina Iro, thank you for going to. Obina Iro says, let's see it happening, not talking only. Okay, not talking only we Biafra are tired of. Okay, not talking only we Biafra are tired of that news. It should release a December is not far. December is just next week. So let's see. Let's just be hopeful. Jude Nwambuze. Yes, thank you for staying tuned. Mr. Lord Larry, thank you. And thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your support. You sincerely appreciate you. And to other viewers out there, thank you for staying tuned. I do have a lovely day, a lovely weekend. So see you. I think, oh, hold on. I think we have a guest here, Shidi. Okay, let's attend to him. Elvis, can you hear me?
Lady Peace, no sound, no voice. No sound. Or the video has no sound. Kewe, are you there? Yeah.
Okay, we have Mr. Mazi back on stage. Mr. Mazi, can you hear me now? Good morning to
Yes,
you.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning to you, my beautiful sister.
Mr. Mazi, good morning, sir.
You see, Alex Zoe must find way to take you out of that zoological republic. I swear to God, because I cannot just. I can't just imagine what is going on. Eh? What kind of connection is what kind of connection do they have? They don't even have strong connectivity in the zoo self. Haba, my people. Yeah, for more than 5-6 minutes, we couldn't talk because of connectivity. Lady P, we must find a way and pull you out of that zoo. That's a typical zoo, you know. I'm telling you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so when do you intend doing that, sir? I'm ready. My things are ready.
We have to find a way to pull you come up from there, because so that when you are online, when you are on live broadcast like this, your listeners will not be disappointed with the kind of problem you are having with this Nigerian connectivity. Haba. Even Togo self. Even Togo. Not to talk of Ghana. Look at any time we speak here, unless maybe I run out of data or maybe I was not able to join. When you speak, you hear people speak clearly. Everything in Nigeria is in shambles. Shambolic. The army is shambolic. The Senate is shambolic. Rubber stamp. This one not even rubber stamp, paper stamp. All they know how to do best is to steal money, steal the common fund of the people, and throw more Nigerians, more people, more indigenous people below poverty line. What a country. What a country. My sister, what are we talking? What are the talking points? Let's see if we can do something. It's almost 40 something minutes now. About 43 minutes. What are the talking points that we can just address? Or do you want me to analyze our gallant men that I see on the screen?
Students.
You don't run again, no. My sister don't run again. Hey, Nigeria. Giant of Africa. Kai. No. If it is where my people with Ghana, I say, what did they go on so? They were ready, Yankabon. Aden. Hey, Nigeria for Aden. They were ready, Yankabon. Ukasa crampo mentishe. Mini a piece, oh, why? Menti wonka crampo. Menti wonka. Ewurade Yankabon. Asa beba de La ila illallah. When you connectivity wana. Po muri anke kumare sister piece banji kobiba. Inana kike yanzu. Ana connectivity dinne. Wayo alana. Hey, mutanen Nigeria wallahi kun shiga uku. Kun shiga uku wallahi na gya muku. Mba ku cire kanku a cikin magana nan Nigeria din na wallahi tallahi Bazakuji daddy shivane. Wallahi bazakuji daddy shi. Me afarene. Sister Peace. Ina ne Sister Peace di neki. Ina taje. Muri anko banjiko bibawo. Alexo ina ne kake. Alexo, come and bail us out, because what is going on, I don't know. If the audience our listeners can hear me, I don't know, because there is no way I can see the comments here. I do not know if they can hear me. I don't know. I don't know if they can hear me. I could have just carry on when the Nigerian live connectivity permits Lady P, then she can join. I do not know. And the talking points to, wow. This is bad. This is bad. If my people will hear me there in the comment section, well, I say this is not how Biafra is going to be. This is not how Biafra is going to be. We will not build Biafra on falsehood. Biafra is not built on falsehood. Biafra is going to be built on truth, equity, justice, fairness. Name them. You control what you have in your place, in your locality. The natural resources God has given to you was given to you by God and the people within these areas. You will have the total right to harness it and pay a certain percentage to the center government in order to keep the center government running. So that the responsibility of developing and creating wealth for your people will be from the locals, not at the center. They gather everything that you have in various states, your VATs, everything that you have. They gather them, they send it to a particular central port in Abuja, and they use false population to share the resources that is coming. 90% of the resources which Nigeria is boasting of today comes from the Biafran land. The old eastern region, which is known today as South, South, and Southeast. And they leave you in abject
I
poverty.
can barely hear you. And
can you hear me now?
Hear ourselves.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
But let's see next week. Hope it gets better.
Okay. All right. Please, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Good, because I can also. I hope I'm coming out clear.
Yes, sir, you are.
Good. Like what I was saying. Look at the connectivity that they provide. They are provided for you in the zoo. The connectivity that when you speak, I can hear you maybe about 3 or 4 minutes later. What kind of connectivity is that? Nigeria is a failed state, a state that cannot protect lives and property. That state is gone. It's gone, and it is gone because of false foundation. Nigeria is built on falsehood, by false arrangement. That was what created Nigeria. Not everybody agreed to be as Nigerian. They were forced into it. And instead of them now to have the wisdom to come back home and say, how do we do this? Because there is a lot of injustices that is going on against the people, especially those people that are producing all the resources Nigeria is boasting of today. They don't want to do that. Because they are using, even in sharing the national cake that they gathered at in that central port in Abuja. They use false population in the north to share more, to get more, and give you little. And my people will not reason. My people will not come back home and say, no, this thing is long over. We cannot, enough is enough. We cannot continue with this. Rather, they are, since they try, they cannot beat them. They are joining them in order to secure the crumbs of what God has given to you. Now, juju be that. Now, juju be that. And when you see people, when the people that are supposed to fight are not fighting, people that are not supposed to fight, that are fighting right now, these same people will come after them. You can't fight. You can't do anything. You can't even do anything to free your people and maximize the control of your natural resources. But people that volunteer right across the old eastern region, the Zonso, the Abak, Ibibio people, the Efik people, the Robo people, Anyoma people, Ukwane people, all over. They have joined to fight. And these same people that are benefiting, that doesn't even have integrity and dignity of themselves, are still fighting those that have, placed their life on the line to fight for the freedom of our people. Total liberation of our people. Then you get your wisdom. That is why I said, as long as we continue to disunite ourselves, my brothers and sisters, we are not going anywhere unless God comes from heaven and do it for us. Because I don't see the unity of purpose. And if I can't see that unity of purpose, and you see and you speak in one voice, you will see the caliphate will shake, because all the things that they are benefiting, that they are using to buy fleet of private jets, live in porch houses, drive in porch vehicles, luxury vehicles, customized vehicles, are from your land. What have you got? Nothing. To go and tell them. And upon that, they are making disparaging statements against us because they have seen you all. Someone will wake up and tell you that the crude oil in Bayelsa belongs to Adamawa. What an utter rubbish. And we are here. You want me to support such a country? I will not support such a country. I am supporting you to be free, so that my mother's ancestral land will be free. We'll get rid of these criminals that have, that doesn't want us to survive. And that fight must come from us. We have spoken, the world have heard us, the peoples of great interest have heard us, and we need to do the needful, just like our people are doing, just like these gallant men that you see here. A time will come, but I don't believe that we will get to that. I don't believe that it will get to that. Because if it is inevitable, my people, prepare to go and defend your father's land, and myself, I will prepare to go and defend my mother's ancestral land. Thank you so much, Lady Kewe. I yield here.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mazi. Thank you for coming. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you very well, loud and clear.
All right. To our viewers, thank you for staying tuned. So, with this, we've come to the end of today's newspaper review. Mr. Mazi, I sincerely appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. I do have a lovely weekend.
As somebody once said, there is a method in our madness. We will draw their army down into our land. Their flanks will be opened up. Their villages will be occupied by bandits and terrorists that